Clinton Harrison was born in 1994 in a small town in southern England, into a family with a long tradition of education. Unremarkable in looks and of only average height, he had nevertheless built a reputation as a top scholar as early as middle school, always ranking first in his grade. While his classmates were busy with teenage parties, Clinton devoted all his time to books, delving deeply into economics and finance. His greatest dream back then was to one day become the director of a prestigious bank and contribute to the development of the financial sector, something he believed would change many people's lives. At the same time, Lynette Lynn Müller, born in 1996 to a European Asian immigrant family, grew up gentle and polite. Although well-behaved and hardworking, Lynn was not naturally gifted in studies. She hovered in the middle of her class and had to work twice as hard as her peers just to keep her grades steady. Throughout high school, she admired Clinton from afar, in awe of his determination and intellect, but never once dared to speak to the top student of their class. On graduation day at St. Michael's High, the campus buzzed more than ever. Clinton delivered the valedictory speech with warmth, recalling every memory and urging his friends to hold fast to their dreams. Lynn stood at the back of the crowd, eyes shining with both pride and regret. She would never forget the noble yet kindly look he gave whenever he explained a tough math problem. After college graduation, Clinton went straight into a finance degree at the prestigious University of London, while Lynn, due to family circumstances, took a gap year to work part-time to support her family. Lynn's life remained a struggle. She tutored, worked as a barista, even applied to many big firms without finding stability. Every night, she lay awake haunted by her fear of adulthood. Could she ever rise above her circumstances? Did she have what it took to enter the banking world? One autumn morning in 2024, Lynn received an invitation to interview for a credit officer position at EuroTrust Bank, a financial group she had heard little about, but which, she learned, had branches across Europe, a solid reputation, and clear paths for advancement. Lynn spent the entire night preparing her resume and convinced herself that this was her one chance to step into the world she'd long dreamed of. At EuroTrust's headquarters in Frankfurt, Lynn arrived early. The glass lobby reflected the autumn foliage outside, light streamed through the walls, creating a solemn atmosphere. In the waiting area, she noticed a poised man with a refined air, neatly styled chestnut brown hair, intently reading a financial report. Lynn's heart raced, that face seemed familiar. When her name was called, Lynn entered the HR director's office. As she set her documents on the desk, her hands trembled slightly, and the pin on her blazer slipped. The man behind the desk was none other than Clinton Harrison, to Lynn's surprise. He was now grown into a confident-looking figure, his cool demeanor inspiring trust. When Clinton looked up and saw Lynn, his eyes flickered with recognition, then quickly softened into a polite smile. "Good morning, Ms. Müller. I'm Clinton Harrison, Director of the Credit Department at EuroTrust. Today we will..." He introduced himself and invited Lynn to sit. His voice was gentle, without a hint of arrogance, very different from the cold top scholar she remembered. Lynn rose and bowed politely. "Good morning, Mr. Harrison. Thank you for your time." The interview went smoothly. When asked about her experience and analytical skills, Lynn spoke sincerely and showed her capacity to learn quickly. Although lacking real-world experience, she presented a clear self-study plan and a long-term commitment to the bank. Clinton listened, occasionally nodding and taking notes. At the end, he even offered to show Lynn around the office and introduce her to colleagues and the departmental structure. In the hallway, under warm yellow lights reflecting off glass walls, Clinton led Lynn to the lounge for coffee. He shared the department's direction, promotion opportunities, and challenges in the post-crisis industry. Lynn listened intently and asked questions. In that moment, they were back in school, Clinton still passionately explaining, Lynn still focused on every word. When Lynn returned home that evening, she wondered if she had truly landed the job. After all, the interview had gone almost too well. Yet whatever the outcome, she felt this meeting had rekindled old memories and perhaps opened a new chapter for both of them. On the following Monday morning, Lynn stepped into EuroTrust's 18-story glass building, its reflection shimmering over Frankfurt's bustling financial district, where suited professionals of every background hurried in and out. Clutching her documents, she followed signs up to the 12th floor, the personal credit department where she would begin her new role. The door opened to a room of neatly aligned desks, each monitor lit with red and green figures. The hum of the air conditioning mingled with keyboard clicks, creating a serious atmosphere. At the end of the corridor, behind glass walls, was the credit director's office, the very place Clinton had shown her days before. "Welcome, Lynn," came a female voice. It was Frau Newman, head of human resources, who would guide Lynn's onboarding. She poured a glass of lemon water and explained the login process, internal account setup, and information security test. Lynn felt relieved as everything went smoothly, though her heart still pounded. Before Lynn could sit down at her computer, a warm male voice called from the director's office, "Lynn Müller, welcome to EuroTrust. This is your desk, and your colleagues will help you settle in." Looking up, Lynn saw Clinton Harrison approaching with a folder of documents he had prepared for her. His gaze was friendly yet professional, showing no awkwardness, just as if yesterday's interview had been simply business. "Mr. Harrison," Lynn exclaimed, her heart fluttering. "Please sit here," he said. "The software Credit Master Pro is installed on your computer. Tonight you'll have detailed training." Clinton guided Lynn through accessing reports on credit history, debt-to-income ratios, and risk assessments. Lynn diligently took notes, asking questions which he answered thoroughly. Although he was the director, he stayed approachable, even using metaphors when calculating bad debts. Think of the client as an old classmate, you have to review their history thoroughly to feel confident. That afternoon, Lynn and two colleagues, Marcus and Elena, attended an internal seminar on Basel IV regulations. While Marcus debated capital adequacy ratios, Lynn often listened, striving to deepen her understanding. Afterwards, she received an email assigning her to review 3 mortgage applications. As she examined the data, she noticed anomalies. The income coverage ratio was below the threshold, yet the file was still pending approval. Marking the issue, she messaged internally, at Marcus, "Could you explain how to calculate income coverage ratio?" Marcus was in a meeting and hadn't responded. Lynn then glanced across and saw Clinton discussing with the corporate analysis team. "Resolute," she messaged, at Mr. Harrison, "I've identified a possible process error, could you take a look?" In less than 3 minutes, Clinton replied, "Please send your reviewed file. I've adjusted the formula in cell D14, run the check risk macro afterward. Let me know if anything else appears off." Lynn followed his instructions, and to her surprise, the spreadsheet immediately validated, the ratio returning to a safe level. Relieved, she thanked him. During afternoon tea, Lynn told Elena about the director's personal assistance. Elena smiled, "I hear Mr. Harrison is attentive to new staff. But don't read too much into it, he's just professional." Lynn nodded, though her heart still fluttered. She couldn't deny the warmth of being noticed. On Tuesday, the Personal Credit Department held a lunch and learn session on assessing FICO 800+ credit profiles, presented by Clinton himself. He stood before a large screen explaining FICO score principles and risk evaluation. Many took notes eagerly, but Lynn watched Clinton's familiar, confident gaze. At the end, he invited questions. Lynn raised her hand. "Could you share how to balance FICO scores with qualitative underwriting when a client lacks a substantial credit history?" Clinton smiled, "Great question. In such cases, we use alternative data, utility bills, long-term employment contracts, or guarantees from partner institutions. Try incorporating those factors in your next file review." Afterwards, Lynn drew more attention and praise for her confidence and logical thinking. She smiled in thanks, privately vowing, "I must work twice as hard to live up to Mr. Harrison's expectations." That evening, when most had left, Lynn stayed late. Her internal phone rang. "Lynn, Mr. Harrison needs you in his office ASAP." Gathering her PDF, she rushed to the 18th floor, Clinton's private office. Entering, she found him behind an oak desk, lit by a warm lamp. He pointed to his screen. "This is the Spirulina GmbH file you mistakenly placed in personal loans. I've moved it, but please pay attention to the customer type field to avoid errors." Lynn bowed her head. "I'm sorry, I should have checked more carefully. Thank you for the reminder." Clinton replied calmly, "Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is catching them, fixing them, and learning. You did a great job on the personal loan reports today, keep it up." Lynn looked up, determination shining. She knew the road ahead would be full of challenges, But having someone believe in and support her gave her newfound confidence. Their reunion was not just an unexpected encounter but the beginning of a new chapter, for both their careers and their feelings. The next Monday, Lynn felt more confident at work. Passing the new hire records board in the hallway, where monthly processing metrics were displayed, she reminded herself, I must ensure my name appears for the right reasons. Just then, an email from a client, Marcus Becker, CEO of an auto parts firm, requested an extension on his mortgage loan. Opening Credit Master Pro, Lynn found mismatched collateral values and a blurry employment certificate scan. Unsure which department to contact, she hesitated, until her internal chat lit up. Clinton Harrison, Lynn, need any help? Gathering courage, Lynn asked, Mr. Harrison, the Becker file has unclear collateral value and employment cert. Sources. Could you advise? Within 2 minutes, Clinton guided her. Check the Corporate Loans 2024 folder. I added the necessary documents yesterday. Then run the doc merge macro to integrate the data. Lynn followed and instantly saw the collateral value adjust to €350,000, matching market rates, and the employment certificate properly display the company name and contract expiration of December 2026. She sighed in relief and sent Becker the updated figures with a detailed explanation. Within 30 minutes, he replied, Ms. Lynn, very professional work, thank you. That afternoon, Lynn attended an internal training by Dr. Fisher, head of risk, on SME lending post-pandemic. She listened, noted case studies, and during Q&A asked, how do we handle collateral fluctuations over 10% in a quarter for SMEs? Dr. Fisher explained, we trigger market value revaluation, reappraising collaterals monthly against a benchmark index, then report internally, an optimal way to maintain car safely. Lynn jotted it down, inspired. She understood risk management involved not only mastering numbers but also following rigorous processes. As Lynn prepared to leave, she saw an email from Clinton to the team. Please apply market value revaluation for all SME loans greater than or equal to €250,000. I will review the report next month. Lynn smiled. He still cares about details. She scheduled follow-up tasks for Becker and 2 other SMEs. That weekend, Lynn was invited to the department's rooftop happy hour. Clinton poured her a mint lemonade. Congratulations on closing 12 personal and 3 corporate files in your first week, almost your monthly target. Lynn blushed. I'm just taking it step by step. Thank you for your support. Clinton nodded. Keep up your pace and attention to detail. If you need anything, just let me know. Under the soft lights and gentle breeze, Lynn felt at ease. Banking could be dry, but with Clinton as her mentor, it became meaningful. At home, Lynn found an invitation to a data analytics for credit risk course EuroTrust arranged, evenings from 1800 hours to 2000 hours for 6 weeks. She smiled. I must sign up immediately, no chance missed. Thus, Lynn's first days were not just challenges but a journey of growth under Clinton's careful guidance. Each slow, sure step built her confidence, and hinted at deeper feelings between 2 people who had once been strangers. In the following weeks, Lynn's workload increased, more complex personal loans, and she joined a side project to refine department processes. Though trusted by Clinton and colleagues, she sometimes felt the pressure to balance speed, accuracy, and constant learning. One Wednesday morning, Lynn received an urgent email from Johan, deputy head of personal credit. The risk report on 20 new loans this month is due by Friday afternoon. Late submissions will affect team performance evaluations. The stern tone sent a chill through Lynn. With only 2 working days to spare, she called a meeting with Marcus and Elena to divide tasks. Elena would compile personal files, Marcus handle corporate cases, and Lynn analyze risks and debt caps. But quickly, Lynn spotted inconsistencies in Elena's data, missing income figures for some clients, and some corporate files mixed into personal. Elena, busy with legal meetings, couldn't fix them promptly. Lynn messaged, at Elena, please verify customer type and annual income, some basic info is missing. Elena didn't see it in time. That night, Lynn worked late combing through the monthly risk report. She uncovered 5 of 20 files with errors and emailed Clinton. Greater than Lynn Müller, Mr. Harrison, I'm finalizing the risk report and found some data gaps in the summary file. Could you advise on a quick fix? Though late, Clinton replied. Greater than Clinton Harrison, send me the file. I'll highlight errors and add missing data from the source system. Then run risk calc. Lynn sent the file and waited, only to be summoned first by Johan the next morning. Greater than Lynn, why isn't the report submitted? I can't justify this delay to the board. She excused herself to a quiet room and saw Clinton's annotated file and instructions. Rushing to apply his notes, she ran into a macro error from fatigue. The report still showed anomalies. At 11 o'clock, facing Johan again, Clinton unexpectedly entered, iPad in hand. Greater than Johan, here's the finalized report. Johan, surprised, reviewed it. Minutes later he nodded. Greater than a few tweaks, which I'll email you. Thank you, Harrison. When Clinton left, Lynn followed him out, tears in her eyes. I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to do. Clinton placed a hand on her shoulder. You tried. Everyone stumbles. What matters is knowing when to ask for help. You don't have to carry it all alone. That evening, Lynn went to the cafe across from the bank, replaying his words. Her phone buzzed. Greater than Clinton Harrison, are you home? Tomorrow I need you on an SME case. Get some rest. Unsure whether to feel comforted or burdened, she replied, Yes, I will prepare. His last message of the day left her wondering, did he see her as a talented protégé or as the girl he once admired in high school? On the next Monday, the personal credit department felt quieter. The storm of Chapter 4 had passed, but the team hadn't fully returned to normal. Lynn focused on a new SME report when Clinton messaged. Greater than Clinton Harrison, Lynn, I'm at Lumina Bookstore on Frescas for some private work. Could we discuss the SME project over coffee around 1830? Seeing it was 1745, she hesitated. She didn't want to impose after hours. But remembering his ask me anytime promise, she quickly replied, Yes, I'll wrap up this file and join you. At 1815, Lynn arrived at Lumina, a cozy corner bookstore filled with the scent of new pages. 2 steaming lattes awaited at a small round table, no sugar, just as she liked. Clinton greeted her, You were here. I ordered 2 no-sugar lattes. You remembered? She asked, surprised. I recalled you mentioning it at our last happy hour, he replied with a smile. In that gentle moment, Lynn felt their hierarchy dissolve. They dove into the SME project. Clinton explained partnering with credit insurance underwriters. Lynn described difficulties gathering financial data from SMEs. Together they opened laptops, compared workflows, and annotated presentation slides. When discussing technical details, using the risk sim module for market volatility simulations, Clinton suddenly looked at Lynn tenderly. Do you think you can handle this? She smiled. Without your guidance, I'd still be struggling with the model. He closed his laptop and placed his hands on the table. I should let you be more independent, but I always want to ensure you're not left hanging. Lynn met his gaze. I appreciate it so much. But I also want to show you I can be confident on my own. Clinton paused, then said gently, You've come so far, remember your first late-night session. Now you complete reports quickly and accurately. I'm proud of you. Tears welled in Lynn's eyes. You were like my teacher, my partner, and now. Clinton smiled warmly, my top-of-the-class peer and the diligent friend I've always admired. They sat together through closing time, talking about the past they never shared, his secret essays on post-crisis European economics and her timid smiles at his math explanations. At 2000 hours the staff reminded them to leave. Stepping outside, the streets sparkled under lamplight. Clinton handed Lynn a lightweight sweater. It's colder than I thought, take this. She draped it around her shoulders, comforted by his scent. At the riverbank's end, Clinton invited her. This Saturday I'm co-lecturing a credit analysis workshop at Frankfurt University. Would you join me as a co-instructor? Of course, I'd be honored, she replied, glowing. He grinned. I'll send you the schedule soon. Before they parted, Clinton said softly, We are growing closer, Lynn. She met his gaze, heart fluttering. Yes, Mr. Harrison. In that gentle European night under cherry blossoms, their journey transformed from teacher-student to colleagues and something more heartfelt, promising a new chapter built on shared trust. Early December brought an unexpected audit summons from the European Banking Authority for EuroTrust's Basel IV report compliance. The bank's leadership convened on the 20th floor boardroom. As Director of Personal Credit, Clinton was tasked with coordinating risk management and financial planning to review risk quantification processes, capital adequacy ratio reports, and internal controls, 10 days to complete a massive dossier. Lynn felt the office's tense atmosphere immediately. Her department worked around the clock, many pulled night shifts to recheck quarterly reports. Already busy with daily tasks, Lynn now had to audit the risk calc macro code and test every market volatility scenario. She knew that even a tiny mistake could cost the bank millions in fines. That afternoon, Johann assigned Lynn to reconcile the department's CAR report with the bank's central system by 5 p.m. tomorrow. He warned, report any discrepancies immediately, no delays. Lynn nodded, heart pounding, then scheduled back-to-back runs of risk calc and doc merge, mentally racing against the clock. She and Marcus cross-checked figures with accounting and risk analysis, eyes glued to flashing cells. The next day, while Lynn ran dozens of stress tests, Johann's call came through angrily. Greater than Lynn, your CAR report from this morning is missing 12 corporate loans. Personal CAR is 0.5% below requirement. Greater than I'm sorry, some SME data was merged improperly. I'll fix it immediately. He hung up in fury. Lynn took a deep breath and traced the corporate loans folder to find 3 major client records hadn't been updated, skewing the personal CAR. She reached Marcus, who confessed he'd received incomplete data from accounting. The two raced to correct the dozen files, reran models, and reconciled CAR, all within hours. Exhaustion parched Lynn's throat as she admonished herself for not ensuring data integrity. Amid their frantic work, Clinton and Dr. Fisher from Risk Management entered. Dr. Fisher addressed Lynn. Greater than will coordinate with you to quickly reconcile CAR figures. Greater than Clinton calmly pointed out the error. In the risk overview dashboard, apply the filter loan type equals SME and value greater than or equal to 250K. You missed that, so the dataset was incomplete. Lynn, grateful, executed his instructions and watched CAR bounce back to 16.2%, meeting the minimum. She thanked Clinton and Dr. Fisher. Marcus smiled in relief. Clinton then proposed a contingency. Let's prepare both an actual CAR and a pro forma CAR report for regulators. Transparency will work in our favor. Johann approved, and Lynn compiled both versions just before the deadline. That evening, Lynn collapsed over a bowl of noodles, only to see Clinton's message. Greater than still up? Please rest this weekend. I'm organizing an ice skating outing Saturday, care to join? Greater than Lynn's fatigue melted into warmth. She replied, yes, I'd love to. Thank you. The next Saturday, at the rink on the 18th floor, colleagues laughed amidst the hum of blades on ice. Lynn, cautious in gloves, was guided by Clinton. When she nearly slipped, he steadied her. Greater than careful, ice is treacherous. Greater than don't let yourself fall either. She teased. Greater than looking out for me? He joked back. Greater than of course, she replied, trusting him fully. Their shared challenge had drawn them closer, forging a bond beyond boss and employee, a partnership ready for greater ambitions. Months later, on a sunny spring afternoon, EuroTrust launched its Green Loan Initiative, a €200 million program to support clean energy projects. Clinton served as deputy chair, overseeing credit underwriting, while Lynn, as coordinator, gathered client files, liaised internally, and connected with environmental insurers. Within 2 weeks, she vetted over 50 corporate applications from Spain to Poland, despite many lacking complete ESG disclosures or environmental impact assessments. One afternoon, Lynn flagged missing EIAs for 6 Scandinavian firms and messaged legal for urgent clarification on EU EIA requirements. Overwhelmed, she asked Clinton to delegate. Greater than could Marcus and Elena help contact auditors for supplementary environmental documents? Greater than Clinton immediately convened a quick meeting. Marcus and Elena will each handle 2 countries. I'll update our risk sim model for sustainability metrics. Over 4 intense days, the Green Team, Lynn, Marcus, Elena, and Clinton, filtered, contacted clients, and updated 50 files. Clinton demonstrated risk sims what-if analysis. Here, Drought scenarios raise operating costs by 5% when rainfall drops 20%. The model flags that, letting us adjust rates or collateral. Lynn noted every detail, marveling at how clear roles and powerful tools drove efficiency under pressure. By May 20th, they were ready to present to the board. In the final meeting, Clinton and Lynn co-presented, Lynn on file collection processes and ESG monitoring, Clinton on risk sim ESG models. The CEO praised, integrating ESG into risk frameworks is both competitive and aligned with our sustainability goals. The room erupted in applause. Lynn beamed beside him, proud beyond words. 1 week later, at a lavish launch ceremony in Opernplatz, Clinton delivered the keynote on strategic vision and innovative risk solutions. Lynn was called to the stage to receive the Outstanding Contributor Award, overwhelmed and honored. In the celebration's glow, Clinton whispered, "You were amazing." Lynn smiled, "We did it together." 3 months have passed since Green Loan Initiative triumphed. Clinton and Lynn, now both partners at work and in life, enjoyed every moment amid Frankfurt's lively pace. But they knew their next commitment must be more lasting, a shared home and future. One spring afternoon, Clinton invited Lynn to EuroTrust's rooftop, site of their first happy hour and skating date. There, overlooking the city at sunset, he set out 2 chairs and tea. Between cups lay a small wooden box etched for Lynn. "Greater than no project today, just us and our future," he said, opening it to reveal a blue topaz ring matching Lynn's eyes. Clinton knelt. "Greater than Lynn Müller, will you be my partner for life? I want us to build a home, just as I dreamed since high school." Tears welled in Lynn's eyes. "Yes, I'm so happy. I will." He slipped the ring on her finger and revealed plans. "Greater than I've booked St. Michael's Church for our engagement, on the 20th anniversary of graduation." 2 weeks of joyful preparations followed. Lynn managed invitations, family, EuroTrust friends, and their old teachers. Clinton handled church arrangements and photographers. Colleagues Johann, Fischer, Marcus, and Elena eagerly anticipated the day. Lynn designed cherry blossom invitations paired with topaz accents and ordered a pastel blue dress to suit the church's ancient beauty. On the Sunday morning of their engagement, St. Michael's awoke under a soft mist. Guests gathered beneath green boughs, exchanging warm greetings. As Lynn emerged in her pastel gown, arm in arm with Clinton in slate gray, the pastor smiled. "Greater than you've journeyed from classmates to colleagues, and now to life partners, truly a rare blessing." They exchanged vows. "Greater than I promise to cherish, protect, and stand by you always. Greater than I promise to love, support, and share every moment." Applause resounded through the ancient stones. Outside, fallen blossoms dusted the steps, witnessing a new beginning as sweet as any spring bloom. After the ceremony, the couple moved into a riverside duplex. The ground floor, with open kitchen and living area, faced the main. Upstairs housed a study and bedroom, minimalist and lined with novels and finance texts. Each morning, Lynn brewed espresso for Clinton as they watched dawn through panoramic windows. Evenings, she attended her data analytics course beside him. They exchanged ideas, encouraged each other, and grew together. On their first night home, over red wine, Clinton unveiled a 5-year plan he drafted for Lynn's career. "Greater than shall we achieve it together?" she asked, eyes shining. "Greater than step by step, together," he replied, wrapping an arm around her. From high school admiration to banking leadership, Clinton and Lynn had found each other again, stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever the future held. Beneath Frankfurt's lights and the drifting cherry blossoms of memory, their love story continued, deep, enduring, and ever blooming.